How often over the last couple of years has something you've said or done been hard to forgive yourself for as you try to practice some of this self love? Like where you're coming home, what an idiot I am. How could I have said or done X?
Well, the last 2 years it's been much better. It's much easier because I've been integrating these lessons I've learned. But for the previous decade, really tough. I mean, I would stew on things I said or didn't say or should have said at nighttime and have a hard time falling asleep, and think about them during the day and have a hard time blocking those things out from time to time, just because I care. I really do care about how I show up in the world, and and how my teammates view me, and about my relationships and my friendships. It means a lot to me, and so I want to do right by those people, and I want to do right by myself. But definitely, the last couple of years, learning a deeper level of that self love, and a deeper level of the gentleness and going easier on myself has been really, really good for me. And I think it's coincided with a lot of important changes and boundaries I've created in my life, and relationships that have come into my life, that are deep and meaningful, and the ones that have moved on, and that I, people that I had beautiful relationships with, and that I don't have those with anymore. Like, very thankful for those moments and those interactions with those people, and um, but thankful for the people in my life right now, and the lessons I've learned, and the fact that I'm on my journey and I'm making mistakes, and that's okay because that's part of it.
You cared a lot what people thought, a lot more what people thought a few years ago, correct? What others thought.
I mean, I've always cared about how I show up in the world. I think um, I've always cared about the people really close in my life. I think you may refer to. I just feel like there were some narratives out there that were just patently so false, and that I, for the longest time, just stayed quiet on it, didn't say anything, or took the high road. And it's been nice through the McAfee show and some of the other outlets to be able to kind of share a little bit more about myself. That's what I've always enjoyed about talking to you guys, is I feel like we've gone to some non-football places so many times that, it's been glimpses, and there's been glimpses over the years through maybe an interview with Aaron Andrews and Fox from time to time, or come on your show or come on some other shows. And then being able to do it with Pat on a weekly basis has been really nice. And just to, have that liberation to, to say what's on my heart, and make mistakes and forgive myself and move on and come back and do it better the next time.
How does it feel to be on the other side of the scientific and medical community when you're doing that publicly?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a polarizing issue, and was a lot of energy around that last year. Um, I I knew that there was probably going to be something that could come up at some point because I wasn't vaxxed, but maybe didn't know the extent of how that would play out. But yeah, I'm thankful for the lessons I learned in the process. I'm thankful for the folks that reached out. I'm thankful for the conversations with people that don't agree with me, that could have civil conversations about it, because I think that's how you can grow and learn. And I don't have all the answers. I have my beliefs and the research that I've done and the people I've talked to, and but I welcome discussions around any issue or uh, where I don't see eye to eye with somebody. I think that's the biggest problem in this country, is we have a hard time doing that. If we disagree with somebody, we write them off right away instead of trying to learn something from that person. And then maybe at the end you just agree to disagree, and that's fine. But it doesn't have to be an end of a friendship, or end of a, long term, friendship, or even lifelong friendships. But for some people, that's the direction that it went.
What part of the reaction surprised you beyond that, right? You weren't expecting to lose some people over that, were you? The people close to you?
I wasn't, no. I just think that, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that were very interesting about it, but um, there, the biggest thing is there just wasn't any room for opinions that didn't go along with the mainstream thought. And as being on the other side of this now, obviously there were some things that were said to us that weren't entirely true. And I think we're all better from having gone through it. And hopefully we don't make some of the same mistakes next time around.
I feel like there was more you were going to say there, and you sort of edited yourself because you realized that anything you say ends up in the headlines. That you had more ideas of things that surprised you because you couldn't have expected that to be the reaction. You've been, if not universally popular, pretty close to beloved. Like anyone who didn't like you was not liking you for silly sports reasons, not because of your opinions on things.
Yeah, I believe that's true. There's probably two people you could find who didn't really like me, and then the couple writers that would give those people, uh, forum to voice their thoughts when kicking us was a popular uh, decision and route for a story to go down. But that definitely was an issue that was very polarizing. I get it because we're talking about a life or death issue, and that gets tied to identity, and it gets tied to worth and truth and all these different really big uh, words and issues and tenets of our personality. And so I understand that it would be polarizing, um, but maybe didn't expect that type of the extent of the reaction.